Premiums for Singapore's universal healthcare insurance are set to rise by up to 35%, while the annual claim limit will be raised by 50% to $150,000. These are among recommendations by the MediShield Life Council in its first major review of the scheme. Now, at the same time, the Health Ministry says that it has set aside about $2.2 billion, that's over the next 3 years, to help Singaporeans with those premiums, especially the elderly and lower-income residents. Cheryl Goh tells us more.
76-year-old Madam Tay Beng Chu had a major operation for a blocked intestine earlier this year and was hospitalized for a total of 2 months at a public hospital and a community hospital, racking up a bill of over $20,000. After MediShield Life and Pioneer Generation subsidies, together with government top-ups to MediSave, she only had to pay less than $100, a relief for her son, Bobby Koh. With the latest proposed revisions to MediShield Life, Madam Tay falls within the age group that will see the highest premium increase. But Mr. Koh feels it's still within reason.
If you are paying it and then should you need to use it, the increase in premium will definitely be covered by the amount that you're going to get subsidized at the end of the day.
MediShield Life premiums are set to go up across the board by more than 10%, while those aged 61 and above will see the biggest jumps of around 35%. To cushion the initial impact of the premium jumps, the Health Ministry will provide for Singaporeans a one-off COVID-19 subsidy, covering 70% of the net increase in the first year and 30% in the second year. This means a net premium increase of up to about 10% in the first year. Over and above that, there will be premiums support for lower-income residents and seniors over the next 3 years.
Premiums will also continue to be fully payable through MediSave. Singaporeans who still face difficulties with their premiums can still apply for additional premium support. We will ensure that all Singaporeans can afford their premiums and will remain covered by MediShield Life for life.
The Council notes that premium adjustments are meant to keep the scheme sustainable. Over the last 4 years, payouts amounted to $3.5 billion, an increase of about 40%.
This is where the public consultation is important. I don't think we should make any pre-conclusion. I will actually encourage an expert panel consultation to actually examine how much benefit do average Singaporean get out of this whole enhancement versus the premium increase that they will all have to bear with. I think there to be opportunity to suggest calibration.
With the higher premiums come enhanced benefits, such as a higher annual claim limit of $150,000 to help those who need extended or multiple hospital stays. Treatment-specific claim limits will be introduced to help those requiring additional care at community hospitals or costlier outpatient radiotherapy. The MediShield Life Council also recommends an increase in claim limits for the first 2 days of acute hospital stay and a lower deductible for day surgeries for patients aged 80 and above in order to bring down the total hospital bill. The proration factor for private hospitals will also drop to 25% to ensure more equitable payouts between subsidized and private patients.
In general, the Council recommends that MediShield Life claim limits should be refreshed to cover 9 in 10 subsidized bills. Going forward, the scheme should also be reviewed more regularly, such as once every 3 years, to ensure adequate protection, as well as to take into account inflation and medical advancements.
The MediShield Life Council will hold a public consultation on the proposed changes from Tuesday to 20th October.
As part of the proposed changes, Singaporeans seeking treatment for drug addiction and alcoholism may soon be able to use MediShield Life to help pay medical fees. Doctors say this could be the right step towards treating addiction as a medical condition.
Currently, claims for treatment arising from attempted suicide, intentional self-injury, drug addiction and alcoholism are excluded from MediShield Life coverage. The Council has proposed to cover such cases to recognise the importance of treatment in the recovery process. The move is welcomed by doctors who say that costs can add up, especially for those requiring long-term treatment.
Cost is always a factor in whether or not someone comes for treatment and continues treatment. And in Singapore, as you know, we have a bit of a criminal model for drug addictions. So people may tend to go underground instead. But if they can actually use the funds to pay for it, then that would be great. It would send a strong signal to the public that we should really be looking beyond stigma of mental health. Yeah. And it will encourage people to come forward to seek help.
Beyond cost, the proposed change also signals a shift to looking at addiction as a medical condition.
I think it's a big step forward to, first of all, recognize that psychiatric conditions, be it addiction or anything else, is not unlike any other medical condition. People with addiction problems do deserve to be treated like any other patients.
The Life Insurance Association Singapore has warned that any changes would have to take into account the balance between costs to insurers and premiums. It plans to give feedback to highlight that higher costs may trickle down to consumers.